Hello friends, we will learn today about ethical hacking. In this part of the ethical hacking, we will learn the first about introduction to the ethical hacking. It means the only introductory part. Now later we will deploy the tools and you understand how you can hack the system and how you can protect your system. So basically in the introductory part, let's come point wise. Suppose there is two meaning of the hacker. The two meaning of the hackers, one is the traditionally and another is the recently. The traditional meaning of the hackers is a person who tinker the system by using the software or electronically. The traditional hackers enjoy or love to find the new way for the deployment or searching the new things for getting the personal access. When you talk about the new meanings of recently meaning of the hackers, someone who deploying maliciously or crashing the system maliciously by deploying the malicious things. This type of hackers are well qualified or is technically the qualified persons. The hackers have the good knowledge about the computing like protocols, networking, softwares, scripting knowledge. So if you want to become hackers, so you need to be the good knowledge about the networking, firewalls, protocols, scripting, all those things. Basically, we are not studying here for hacking or gaining the personal informations through the entire network. So basically, hacking is the terminology that is for securing the network to find the vulnerability of the network, protecting the system. So when you talk about the ethical hacking, so basically the ethical hacking is not gaining the information, not only for destroying the data, not stealing the particular person informations, email informations, data informations. So basically this study is for about protections of the entire network or the whole network, that is protections for the data. So there is the different type of attackings or ethicals involving in these things, either we physically or by deploying the electronically. So we have already discussed about, so basically the ethical hacking knows for getting the informations. So ethical hacking is just searching the vulnerability for the entire network behind the firewalls. Suppose the company have just implemented the VPNs, firewalls and lot of other security implementations. So basically that is used for the tools or the methods or the process for just find out the undiscovered vulnerabilities. Let's talk about the type of the classes of the hackers. Hacker classes. There are different type of the hackers involving, like black hat, hacker, other is white hat hacker, suicide hackers, and the other is grey hat hacker. So let's talk about the black hat hackers. Basically, the black hat hackers deploy the tools or apply the techniques or the process for gaining the personal information, like the network data, mail informations, destroying the mails, stealing the credit card informations, debit card informations. So basically, the purpose of the black hackers is deletion or destroying the data or gaining the personal information. This type of hackers is called black hackers. Now, what is white hat hackers? Basically, the white hat hackers is called the security analyzer. This type of hacker is working for securing the entire network, discovering the vulnerabilities which is in like firewalls, VPNs, or other systems vulnerabilities. So this type of hacker is called the security analyzer. So searching the vulnerability of the security, discover the vulnerability of the security, then after they discover the vulnerability, it will be thinks about how it can be protected and what type of the methods or the softwares or the security implement for blocking the particular vulnerabilities or removing the particular this type of the vulnerabilities. So this type of hacker is the security analyzer. Let's talk about suicide hacker. This type of hacker is do not think about go to the jail for the 30 or 20 years. They always do the activities like destructive. So always in mind the destructive activity or deletion of the data, crash the data, delete the informations of the particular targeting organizations or particular targeting victims. So this type of hacker is always working for destructive work. Let's talk about Cree Hat Hackers. This type of hackers is working offensively or defensively as for the need of the organization, as per need of the networks. Basically, this type of hacker is work for the organization for protections, protecting the entire network, to save the entire network from the fire through the hackers. And if a need for the hackings and need for working the offensively, it will be to work also offensively or defensively. So this type of hacker for working for the different type of the activities. Let's come about a different point in the introductory part, like understanding the need of hack own system. Understanding need of hacking own system. basically the hackers is just do the practice of the entire network to find the vulnerability of the entire network. So it's a need for hack its own system first. So without hacking the own system, you can't find out the vulnerability of entire network. Suppose you have implemented a VPN or the firewalls. How you can find out the vulnerability or leak point of the firewalls? So by help of hacking its own system, the hackers find out or try to do this process to finding the logs of the vulnerabilities, or by help of these vulnerabilities they try to protect the system or apply the protections of entire network. Then according to this vulnerability implemented the security of the entire network. Even also tracing the traffic of the viruses, worms, it could be implemented for the security. Is finding, is it any vulnerability or not? If finding the vulnerability, then think about the protections. So the hackers is need for trying to access or hack his own system basically for protections. Now the next point is understanding the dangerous your system face. Your network, when your network is connected to the internet, always think about it's under the fire from the hacker. So always the hackers are working on the entire network or the connected internet. So always the hackers is finding the weakness of the entire network. So it's always in the dangerous. So just check the vulnerability of the system so that when your entire network is just connected on the internet, so that nobody can access or nobody can fire our entire network. Let's come about a simple things. It could be make dangerous with your system or your data. Let's simple example, like suppose I have working or a person is working on the project and he was not able to complete this project and just taken the time for the boss, okay, I will complete this work in the night, and he was just work whole night and completed his work, then come out in office, and after the few days later just he forget, is my project in entire my USB. So just someone is asking for the USB, please give me your USB drive. So that person is given to him, or few days just he lost his USB drive and given to new USB drive to him, same USB drive, and that person is who has just taken the USB drive, that is distributed or shared the project on the network. So that always be care about what are you doing. Is there any person is doing a social engineering with you? This is also the hacking terms. So when you are working within a LAN or the internet, anybody can try to hack you by using the social engineering or by using the tools deployments or a particular using the threats. In these terms, non-technical attack. This could be also dangerous. Non-technical attack. Basically, the non-technical attack is a type of physical attacks. This type of attackers is try to access your server physically. It is find out the particular location of the particular server. It's finding the location of your information put it over there. So this type of attacks is also called the social engineering type of the attacks, because the man is just believing on the trustworthiness. So it could be easily trust to anybody and then just provide the informations to the hacker. So this type of non-technical attack is called the physical attacks. Either be track the physically, gain the access from the server rooms, from the server locations, or it could be a social engineering. Next is network infrastructure attack. In these attacks, the attackers fire easily because your entire network easily connected anywhere in the world. So the detection could be easy or it could be dangerous for you. So you have checklist of your safety points when your network is going to connect it off the worldwide and everywhere through the internet. In these attacks, there are basically involving like a TCP/IP, DOS attacks, net BIOS attacks. Basically, attackers is try to gain the information through the net BIOS, just also try to attack through the DOS attacks. It on using try to just block your entire network. It is just sending the lot of packets for blocking your entire network. It will be the bandwidth is just a consumption of your bandwidth by helping the DOS attacks. And even when you are connected through the entire network worldwide, obviously you are not safe fire from the hacker. Now, operating system attack. in the operating system attacks, it's basically involving the operating system like Unix, Linux, or just novel. Lot of operating system over the market. So basically, this is a very popular operating system. As example, the Microsoft Unix. So the mostly attackers is try to access or attacks or make a target of the operating system like Microsoft or the Unix, because it's a popular and also lot of tool techniques or process available for hacking this operating system. And this type of attacks involving like gaining access to the shared network, shared data, shared files and folders, shared drive, cracking this password. So this type of attacks are involving in operating system attack. Basically, the attackers are making the target to the operating system because a lot of applications are running on the operating system. So trying to guess or track the password of the entire operating system so that they can easily track the other applications information. And other is like application attack. Applications and other specialized attack. In these attacks, the involving like SMTP attacks, the mostly attackers try to gain the access of the email information. So they try to attacks on the SMTP, attacks by the malwares, attacks by sending the particular trojans, attacks by the malwares, spams. So this type of attacks are involving in this applications attack. FTP attacks. So basically it's attacks on the protocols, attacks on the services, attacks on the applications. These type of attacks are involving in the application and specialized attacks. Now come on the another points. This type of terms are just under the understanding the need of or understanding the danger of what your system faces. Now other point is obeying the ethical hacking commandments. The points are working ethically. Other is respectively or respecting privacy. And the third point is not crashing system. When you are going to trace the vulnerability or when you are going to track your own system or another system or particular your client, so that you have to always take care about working ethically. So you have a plan or approved plan. What are you going to do? What plan you have? So take approval by boss or the senior manager or who has just take caring about your organization. So you have a approved plan. So you have to do ethically. Don't go beyond it. Otherwise, your project become a flop or anybody can claim to you. So go according to the rules. And meanwhile, when you are trying to find out the vulnerabilities of entire network, when you are just find the threats of entire network for your privacy or protection of the network, so when you are getting information like a logs file, clear text password, so that you have to put on the private place, so that is not accessed by any other person. Or even also, please do not share that information to each other. So please keep the privacy for find out the clear text passwords or the logs. So maintain the respecting of privacy. Next point is not crashing your system. When you are going to test, when you are going to penetration testing of your entire network, or just going to test your vulnerability, in this entire project, please do not try to crash your system. Please do not use the continuous tool. Don't in hurry. Don't use one by one tools. Just you have a good knowledge. You have to know about the power of the tools. You have know about the script of the power. Suppose you are going to attacks like a DOS. So do not just do the continuous attacks. So make a time frame. What type of your project? What are the time frame? What type of the utility you are going to use it? Know the power of this utility. Know the power of these tools. Then you have to plan out for your system. Otherwise, basically, the mostly people in a hurry and try to using one by one tools, they always crash his system. So make a structured plan. What type of implementation you have needed. Now next point is the ethical hacking process. In the ethical hacking process, just make a formulations. Make formulation of the plan. Just make a formulation of the plan. What type of the formulations involving? Specify the system, specify the risk, know about your risk, know about your timeline, how the tests are performed, what type of the utility you are going to perform. Just do not go just multiples project. Do not go for the multiples or continuous tracking. Just choose a particular plan, choose the particular tools, make a process, what type of the risk are available, or just involving the how to test to be the performed, to make the timelines and the frame of the planning or the project. The next is selecting the tools. When you are going to just do a ethical hacking process in your entire network, you have a good knowledge about a tool. You have good knowledge about a power of the tools. When you are going to deploying the particular tool, what are the risks could be? So that choose the particular tools. Suppose you are going to cracking the password. This is the very good tools like LC4, laughter cracker. By help of these laughter crackers, you can find out the password by helping the dictionary attacks, brute force attacks. So this is the very good tools. So you have a good knowledge about these tools. Suppose you are going to cracking this password, attacks of the password, or just you are applying the super scan. Basically, the super scan used for scanning the entire network, finding just footprinting, not used for the crack. So that lot of tool is available for this. So that according to plan, according to structure, according to timeline, you have to choose the particular tools or power of these tools, and as well as you have a knowledge of the particular tool. And after the selecting tools, now you have to executing the plan. Already you know power of this tool, plan, process, risk. So that according to this, just execute your plan according to timeline framework, power of the utility of this tool, choose the tools, or it's not work or implement your plan in the peak times. Just make your time, choose the tools, make the list, and execute your plans for hacking. Now, this is the introduction of the ethical hacking. Thank you, friends.